Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos with really high quality production values and it really inspire me. Some of the ones I've been watching are kind of like, I like the Tour de France, so I've been watching these cafe rides where they ride with uh, journalists, cyclists will ride with a celebrity and do a video and they just have good production values. They got music and cutting it out. I don't know. I don't know anything about editing, video, but I doubt I learn very much. But maybe I'll get a associate somehow. I don't know how. I don't know. But it doesn't have to be high quality, it could be the same old stuff I've been doing, which is basically unedited, raw. But, just more interesting content, I guess that would be at this point. So, my idea would be to, have one-on-one or whatever. Could be more than one-on-one, one-on-four or whatever. Mate, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how you record it. Like a Zoom call. You can record on Zoom. I don't know if you can take that data and manipulate it. I'm not sure how it would work, but, my number one interest and topics would be, it's all about mind body. Anything to do with mind body, I'm in. But let's say Trump Rinpoche's vision of what we used to call the Shambhala arts and then was called Nalanda gate and then now it's called contemplative arts, which I have an issue with. I don't know. I just don't see kendo. Yeah, man, we're contemplative arts. Rah! I don't know. It's not that bad, but I don't know. I like the Nalanda arts as a better term, but whatever. It's just me being a rebel, I guess. Maybe. Anyway, there's been a whole history, and not everybody's gonna agree with this, but in my opinion, Trungpa Rinpoche's teaching could be roughly divided into third: Shambhala, Buddhism, and contemplative arts. And he put a lot into it, but for some reason or other, the students, besides myself, I don't know anybody but that's not fair. Some people were in their own lane and, did fantastic things. But in some ways, we were crushed by the people that stole our name, Shambhala Art. They wanted to crush us. Their intended goal was to crush us because we impinged on their space somehow. And they did a pretty good job of it. Steve Sisek told his people, do not cooperate with anybody in Nalanda Gate. Do not cooperate. Just ignore them, pretend they don't exist. I like to tell that story. But I don't really want to do negative hit pieces on anything, but what I'm really interested in is promoting the idea that a third of what Trungpa Rinpoche was trying to get at was contemplative arts and how important it is and how many things he put so much into. He put a lot into elocution. Last 30 nights I spent with him, 27 of them we did mainly elocution. amazing what he did, and how much elocution is going on now? None. I mean, to me, here's the order of precedence in my mind of what Shambhala arts are in terms of efficacy of bringing the student forward. I would say number one is horsemanship, but that's costs a lot of money. But man, nothing trains a student like horsemanship. I'd say number two is Kudo. I mean, I've been down the road, man, and Kudo is unbelievable. It's not as hard, not inaccessible as you might think. It's pretty thriving. It's pretty thriving. Even though most of it's not Shambhala or not. Of course, Shambhala is not Shambhala, so who knows? I'm gonna say calligraphy, man. I mean, he put a lot into stroke practice, but nobody in stroke practice has a clue what is really going on. There's not one person in 1,000. There's not one teacher in 10 who has a clue, if you ask me. People who are teaching it. There is a whole history of calligraphy in the East. If you're an educated person, it's painting, poetry, calligraphy. Not necessarily in that order. Probably in the opposite order. Calligraphy is everything, And here's nothing, and despite all Trump Rinpoche's efforts, it's. And the people that do stroke practice, they're trying to turn themselves into pieces of wood with the way they do it. They're not getting. In terms of mind and body, they're getting exactly nothing out of it. They're going the other way. Everything they're doing is going the opposite way. Is this good? Is this a good setup? Is this good? Despite, Barbara Bash is a beautiful teacher, but for whatever reason, it hadn't happened. People don't get it. If you get together with some Tibetans and they start talking, they have two questions. Why do Western students hate their mothers? They cannot understand that one, man. That's a conundrum. They do not get that at all. And why don't Western students progress normally in meditation like everybody else in Asia? In Asia, the teacher and the teacher decides to send the student off on a month retreat, and he does Vajrakalaya. When the student comes back, the teacher says, "Did you have any dreams or any signs?" And the student reports his dreams and his signs, and he always has dreams and he always has signs. And then the teacher knows what to do. Do the same thing with the Western student. He comes back, "Did you have any dreams and signs?" "No." "What do you mean?" "No dreams, no signs, no progress." They don't know what to do. How can that be? I don't understand. And it's what Trungpa Rinpoche was getting at. It's what Alexander technique addresses very clearly. Alexander's techniques should be so big and within our world, it's beyond belief. But everybody says, "Oh, Alexander technique, it's wonderful. Oh, it's so wonderful." But nobody really practices it. Nobody really knows what it is. I mean, maybe 6 people, I don't know. 3 of them are teachers, I don't know. Or maybe more than that, but it ought to be huge. It ought to be huge. And if that were the case, students would progress, because that's the whole problem. The problem Alexander Techniques addresses, the problem that horsemanship addresses, that all of Shambhala art is there's this, there's just a lot of tension in Western students, and it corrects things, and they can't really learn anything. I mean, maybe they learn something in their head, but the problem in Buddhism altogether is you're not doing so bad when you're on the cushion, but you get off the cushion and you are skunked. You lost. You're back to your old habits. And you never make any progress in integrating. The main thing in Buddhism is, can you integrate? Can you integrate? When you get off that cushion, does it all come together for you? No, it does not. It does not. You don't really know how to practice mindfulness when you step off the cushion. I mean, maybe a little bit in your head, but not in your body. Not in your body. Not in your body. And if you don't do it in your body, it hasn't been done. It hasn't happened. And you don't progress normally in meditation like you should. So Trump Rinpoche was saying we got to get people to do this and get their bodies in a relaxed state, and then they can learn everything, Anyway, I'm going to talk to people they don't have to be about Alexander, but they have to be about, I'd be interested in people that are interested in mind body, I'm interested in maybe Barbara Bash and I could do something together, maybe Barbara Dilly and I could do something together, or maybe I like your suggestions, I would be very interested who in our community is into this kind of thing, and how can we promote it? How can we all get together and promote it and make people understand a little more than they do? Maybe Mrs. Gimian with elocution, I love to do that. I'm just, I'm interested. You got ideas, I'd be interested in your ideas. Suggestions to people that might be interested in something like this. Well, whatever. Success on the path for everybody, please.